whole production crew, and myself, I'd like to welcome you to the show and want you to help welcome our guest today. Now, this is a man who has traveled through time using the studio's time machine. Yes, we have one. To give us an exclusive interview on his troubled journey, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome one of ancient Greece's oldest heroes, Odysseus.
Hey, everybody, how you doing? How are you? Hey, Oprah, how are you?
Odysseus, let me start off by thanking you for making it all the way here to our studio. It's great to have you here. I'm sure it's been quite the journey. How was time traveling?
Well, as you can imagine, it was quite a surprise being ripped from my bed in the middle of the night and appearing in front of your audience, bare-chested. But, I mean, you know, being so good-looking, they gaped at me, which was uncomfortable, but then you provided me with these clothes, and my problems were solved. And at first, I thought I had invoked Poseidon's wrath yet again, but I haven't prayed to the guy in years, and I've sacrificed more goats than I'd like to mention in his name. And I was happy that, you know, it was simply just a larger woman wishing to sleep with me.
How modest of you. We wanted to have you on the show to speak with you about the book written after your journey home from Troy, the Odyssey.
The one by Homer?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Here you go.
By Homer?
Yeah. Yeah.
You guys think he's some big shot writer? He is?
Production staff.
This production studio is just unbelievable. In ancient Greece, we have better theater. No, but you guys think he's some big shot writer? He follows around Troy like some kind of poetry writing leech. He's that guy that no one wants there, but he still comes.
We can all relate. So you're saying this book isn't accurate?
No, not at all. As a matter of fact, the unedited version probably has my bathroom habits. I'm telling you, the guy was a parasitic leash, man. I mean, it's ridiculous. Followed us like a shadow. Everywhere we went, there was poetry this, poetry that. Achilles took him by the toga, hung him by the mast, so we could have some peace and quiet.
What was it like coming back to your son after 20 years? I can imagine the situation was complicated.
I was very proud of my son. He was forced into maturity very fast, and I felt he handled it the best way he could.
Well, we have a surprise for you. Telemachus is right here in the studio. Telemachus, get out here.
My son, father, how are you? Good?
Hello, Telemachus. What was it like accepting Odysseus as your father after 20 years? And what hardships did you face when he was away?
You know, I wasn't sure when I first laid eyes on him. He had to prove to me who he was. I, like my mother, had never given up hope that he was alive, but unlike my mother, I did not know what to expect. I heard so many things from the awful men who stayed with us. It was a Greek custom to allow anyone bearing gifts to stay as guests in your home, and these men, as you say, overstayed their welcoming.
What gave you and your mother hope to believe that he was still alive?
I was visited by the gray-eyed goddess Athena, and to be honest, I could bear the thought of my mother marrying the brutes of men who loitered in our home.
You've mentioned these men several times. What was their role in all of this?
You see, when news reached nobles and many rich men throughout Greece that my father had not returned and was presumed dead, they flocked to our palace to take my mother as a bride so they may become king of Ithaca, our homeland.
Tragic how these men took advantage of such circumstances for just their own selfish needs.
Tell them what we did to them.
Oh, we slaughtered them all.
And you're proud of that?
Wouldn't you? Imagine, Oprah, that a dozen loud, foul-smelling men made camp in your studio.
I guess I would, maybe, but that sounds barbaric.
Well, it was different times, Oprah, but if I may add, I do regret missing my son's best years. And as a father, you know, thinking back, I would have never gone to Troy.
Thank you, Telemachus. And if you ask the staff, they can help you to find the green room.
The green room? What sorcery is this? A green room? The gods toy with us?
Hey, so respect or I make you stroke goats when we get home.
Odysseus, a lot of people question your moral decisions on your quest. The story tells of you sleeping with women while your wife waited for you.
It was complicated. I had no choice.
Do you understand people have a hard time understanding that statement?
Well, the first time I was unfaithful to my wife and I had a freaky time, it was to acquire supplies for me and my man who had become washed ashore on Kirky's Island. The second time, I could not resist the goddess Calypso, for no man can resist a goddess.
Odysseus, it was events like this that occurred in the story that really keeps a lot of people from recognizing you as a great leader, when you can so easily cheat on your wife when she stayed loyal to you for over 20 years.
If I could go back, I would have never shared a bed with Calypso, but what people must understand is that I did it out of necessity when I slept with Kirky.
Since we're on the topic of moral decisions you made throughout your journey, now seems a good time to bring out our second guest, someone who you hurt very much on your journey, and we brought him here for you to console. Please welcome the Cyclops.
Cyclops? What deception is this, Oprah?
At least I did not stab anyone in the eye.
Oh, I stabbed someone in the eye. You ate my men like they were hairy finger food.
I can eat you too if you don't wash your tongue.
Both of you, enough. This is why I brought you here, to make peace with each other. Let's start by hearing both of your stories.
Well, I'll go first since I was the victim. Imagine me sitting at home, opening my home to these men, and I just occasionally snapped on a couple of their men, but they deserved it, just barging in like that.
Now that Cyclops has shared, Odysseus, we'd like to hear your side of the story.
My men and I had sailed for days on end, and when we finally arrived on this island, all we asked for was some hospitality, but instead we were brutally eaten. And if it had not been for my brilliant brain that God had blessed me with, we would all be dead in your stomach.
Where am I?
Right here.
How dare you call my home a hole, you runt? Ow, ow, ow.
Bye. This is a primetime television show, not some kind of second-rate Judge Judy cat fight. And you're going to show some respect, both of you. Now I want to know what's really going on here.
Well, I was the youngest Cyclops on the island, and no one ever wants to be friends with the baby on the island.
I know how you feel.
You do?
Yes, I do. I don't shower much. People think I smell. And I do.
You know, I smell pretty bad too.
Who wants to be friends with guys that smell like old fattened lamb?
Exactly.
Maybe we could be friends, huh? What do you think?
I'd love that.
Of course we could. I will sail to your island. I will find it again. And we will watch this. We will play hide and we can talk. We'll talk when I get there. We can talk when I get there.
I'd love that, friend.
This is why I do this. Thank you, Cyclops.
Let's hear it for the Cyclops, huh, guys? Yeah! Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Here. We'll kill him later.
So, how'd that feel?
It felt pretty good, I have to say. Bad.
That's good. So how do you think today's interview is going?
How
How do you think today's interview is
I think
going?
it was great. You know, being in just modern times, it shell-shocked me at first, and I started having panic attacks in the green room and throwing snacks at your, workers, and hitting them, and I killed a couple of them. You'll find their bodies later. But for the most part, most of your crew survived, and I feel you can fill the slots very easily. A lot of people don't want to work for this.
Father, my true love is leaving.
What? What do you mean?
Her name is Tammy, and she works in accounting. Her mechanical bird is leaving in an hour.
Oh my God! Oprah, can we borrow your mechanical chariot?
The Cyclops took it.
That's one-eyed abomination. We must hail a yellow taxi. There's no time to wait.
We forgot the 80s music. We forgot the 80s music.
Oh my God!
Thank you.